Hello everyone and welcome to Dream Insights. This video is part 3 of a 3-part series on learning how to work with your dreams. My name is Mike Hackett and I created Dream Insights to help you do just that. Part 3. A Real Dream Decoded. Before we begin though, just to recap, in video 1 of this series I explored dreams, how to recall your dreams, and how to record them so that you can gain insights into what they mean. In the second video, I showed you how to use a common dream decoding process step by step, and gave you some examples from my own dreams to highlight some of the steps. In this video, I will show you how the process works with a very recent dream. This dream comes from my friend Jane. Jane kindly gave me permission to use her dream to show you how to apply the process covered in video 2. If you haven't viewed my 2 previous videos, don't worry. I will show you the process again soon, just not in as much detail as in video 2. Feel free to jump back now, if you wish, and then come back here when you're ready to continue. Before we look at Jane's dream though, let's remind ourselves of the dream process. I begin with asking Jane to tell me her recorded dream. I ask her not to change or edit it in any way, and further ask her to tell me the dream as if it's happening in the here and now. Jane replies with her dream as follows. I have lost my sharp knife. It has been thrown out. My new knife is blunt and is missing a piece off the top. I wake up feeling anxious and frustrated. So as you can see, we've done the first 3 steps. We've taken the recorded dream, we've not changed it, and we've asked Jane to replay the dream in I, me, here and now. Now it's time to move on to the first major part of the decode, identifying all of the people, places, things, events, etc. In other words, each of the dream elements. Here I've highlighted each dream element: lost, sharp knife, etc. It's important to remember at this point, the temptation to analyze the dream is quite strong. It's important to resist this temptation. The next step looks at these associations. This is the decoding bit and the heart of working with the dream. As you can see, I create more space on each line so that I can write down the associations. This is a good tip for recording your dreams in your journal. Leave plenty of space between each line so that you can write the associations in when you work with the dream. In doing the associations piece, I often ask open questions. So for example, take the first item, lost. So I ask Jane, what is lost? Jane tells me, lost is gone. Something that's been let go. Something I don't have anymore. Now you can see that Jane's association goes with that specific word, lost. When I ask Jane which of the 3 associations gone, let go, and don't have something anymore is more accurate, she tells me it's the last one. Working through the next association, for sharp knife. I ask Jane, what is a sharp knife? What is it used for? Jane tells me her association, used for cutting. The next item, thrown out. I asked Jane, what do you mean when you say thrown out? Tell me about what it is to be thrown out. Her reply is discarded, something I did, gone. Again I asked Jane to tell me which one feels most accurate. I take note of this and move on. For the next dream element, new knife, Jane tells me the new knife is to stab, to cut, and it's different to the other knife. When looking at the next dream element, blunt, I ask, what is blunt? When something is blunt, what does that signify? Jane tells me she means not sharp. The next association is for missing a piece. I ask, when something is missing a piece, what do you think about? Jane's reply is gaps, bits it doesn't have, should be there. Again, I ask Jane, which feels most accurate, and I take note of this as I go. In the final dream element, top, I asked Jane to tell me about the word top. What associations does she have with something which is top? Her response is above, up, top part. Again, I ask her, what is the most accurate association, and take note. Now we've got a number of associations from Jane about what each dream element means to her. As I went, I asked Jane to tell me which associations fit most accurately, and I asked open questions if she got stuck along the way. Please note, I never offer a suggestion about a dream element, and we never look any of the dream elements up in a dream dictionary. The next step is to ask Jane to tell me about the events of the last few days of her life. Jane tells me that I decided to take a Train the Trainer course. It has been quite challenging, learning new skills. It has been on my mind, lots to do, lots to learn. It's not all clear yet. It's exciting though. Now it's time to add the associations and the memory of the previous days leading up to the dream together. You can now start to piece together a new story which combines both. So for example, taking the associations on the left and adding them to the text on the right, you get something like this. I have been attending a course, it is new. I feel anxious about it and it is quite challenging learning new skills. I feel like my old skills have been lost. My new skills are not sharp and I feel like I can't cut it. But I'm taking a stab at it. I am learning. It is all quite new, but there are pieces missing at the moment. Jane immediately begins to recognize how the dream and her waking experiences are coming together, and further begins to realize what the dream seems to be telling her. I then ask Jane to give the dream a name. She calls it Sharpening My Skills. I finish the process by asking Jane what she thinks the dream is trying to tell her. She tells me that she is a bit hard on herself sometimes, and that she knows she'll sharpen her skills in time. She is reminded not to be too critical of herself, as this is a new area of study and is bound to cause some initial distress. In the final step then, I ask Jane what one thing would she do to honour the message of her dream. Jane replies, I will remind myself that sometimes we feel de-skilled when learning something new, and that in time this will pass. I will be less hard on myself in the coming days. And so we've come to the completion of the process. Step by step, beginning with taking Jane's dream and working it all the way through systematically until we have gotten to the last step in the decoded dream. And that's it. I hope you can better see how the process works. Like any new skill, working with your dreams takes a little time and a little practice. All of the skills, however, can be learned by anyone and applied to their own dreams. I hope you've enjoyed our 3-part series on dreams. As always, I would love to hear from you in the comment section or via our website at dreaminsights.net. I'm looking forward to seeing you back here, and as I grow the site with your comments and recommendations for future episodes. So in the meantime, all that remains is for me to wish you a good night and sweet dreams.